Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we have something really special to talk about, the 2022 Maya Angelou $quarter. This coin might look like a simple quarter, but trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye. If you're into collecting coins, you'll want to listen closely because this one could be worth a lot more than you think. Stick around, because we're about to reveal how much this incredible coin could be worth. Now, let's start with some background. In 2022, the United States Mint released a series of quarters to honor American women who have made a significant impact on society. One of these coins features the incredible Maya Angelou, poet, author, and civil rights activist who touched the lives of millions with her powerful words and contributions to literature and social change. The Maya Angelou quarter is part of the American Women Quarters program, and let me tell you, this particular coin is already stirring up excitement among collectors. What makes this coin stand out, you might ask? Well, the answer lies in both its design and its potential rarity. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the design. On the obverse, you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington, as with any quarter, but the real magic is on the reverse. This side features a stunning and symbolic design, a representation of Maya Angelou with her arms outstretched, as though embracing the world. Around her are words from her famous poem, "I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings," which captures the essence of her life's work. The design pays tribute to her strength, resilience, and undying commitment to freedom and equality. It's a beautiful, meaningful representation of an incredible woman, but wait, it gets even more interesting. The Maya Angelou quarter isn't just another coin you can grab out of your change jar. The rarity of this coin is tied to a few key factors. While many of these quarters were minted in high quantities, what sets the rare ones apart is their condition. Coins that were carefully stored and never used in everyday circulation are worth a lot more than those that have been tossed around in wallets, pockets, or vending machines. You see, the condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition are highly sought after by collectors, and they can command much higher prices in the market. The Maya Angelou quarter is no exception. Finding one of these coins in near perfect or perfect condition can make it extremely valuable, but there's more. Some of these coins may also have minting errors that could make them even rarer, and even more expensive. Minting errors can happen during the production process, and when they do, they create unique variations that collectors go crazy for. These errors could be anything from misprints to off-center strikes, or even metal inconsistencies. A coin with a minting error is a one-of-a-kind treasure, and that uniqueness drives up its value significantly. If you have one of these rare error coins, your Maya Angelou quarter could be worth far more than you'd ever expect. Now, let's talk numbers. The regular Maya Angelou quarters in good condition are already worth more than their face value, thanks to their symbolism and limited availability. But when you factor in the rarity, perfect condition, and minting errors, we're talking about a coin that can fetch some serious cash in the right market. So, how much is this coin really worth? Drumroll, please. If you're lucky enough to own a 2022 Maya Angelou quarter in flawless condition, or one that has a rare minting error, it could be worth an astonishing $59,000. Yes, you heard that right, $59,000 for a single quarter. Who would have thought that something so small could be worth such a massive sum? So, what does this mean for collectors? It means that now is the time to check your coin collection, your spare change, or any old quarters you might have lying around. If you find a 2022 Maya Angelou quarter, especially one in great condition or with a potential minting error, you could be holding a piece of history, and a potential goldmine. For all the coin lovers out there, this is an exciting time to be collecting. Coins like these are not just about their historical or artistic value, they're also about their potential to increase in worth over time. The Maya Angelou quarter is a true gem in the world of numismatics, and it's only going to become rarer and more valuable as time goes on. So, take a good look at that coin jar, or maybe even check through your pocket change the next time you're at the store. You never know, you might just be holding onto a fortune. Top 2, we've got an exciting topic for you, the 1981 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this may seem like just another old quarter, but trust me, there's so much more to this coin than meets the eye. If you're a serious collector or just someone who loves discovering valuable finds, then you're going to want to hear all about this one. Grab a seat and get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll know just how much this 1981 quarter could be worth. Let's take a step back in time. The 1981 quarter was minted during an interesting period in U.S. history. The economy was in the midst of a recovery after the early 1980s recession, and these quarters were part of the regular circulation that kept the U.S. economy running. But here's the twist, though millions of these coins were produced, very few survived in pristine condition. Most were used in daily transactions, worn down by time, handling, and circulation. But some have survived the years in nearly perfect condition, and that's where the magic happens for collectors. Now, let's talk about rarity. While a typical 1981 quarter in average condition might not be worth more than its face value of 25 cents, the value of this coin can skyrocket depending on its condition. Coins that have been well preserved, meaning they were never tossed around in pockets, bags, or vending machines, are incredibly rare. When you come across a 1981 quarter that's in uncirculated condition, you're holding something special. Uncirculated coins are those that were either stored carefully or never used in circulation, and because they were preserved so well, they retain all their original features, making them more desirable to collectors. What makes this coin so valuable, you ask? Well, one of the main factors is its rarity. As mentioned earlier, most of the 1981 quarters were used in everyday transactions, which means they suffered from scratches, dings, and other forms of wear. But there are a small number of 1981 quarters that have survived in mint condition, unblemished and looking as fresh as the day they were made. Coins in mint condition hold the greatest potential for collectors, and that's where the value starts to increase. But here's the kicker, some of these 1981 quarters are even rarer because of minting errors. Errors can happen during the minting process, and when they do, they create unique, one-of-a-kind coins. These minting errors can range from misprints to double strikes, and even off-center designs. Imagine finding a 1981 quarter that was struck twice, or one that's off-center, with part of the design missing or doubled. These coins are goldmines for collectors. Collectors love error coins because they are unique. Each one tells a story of a rare mistake made during the minting process. The rarity of these error coins, along with their historical significance, makes them incredibly valuable. If you're lucky enough to find a 1981 quarter with a minting error, you could be sitting on something that's worth a lot more than just a couple of dollars. Now, we know that the condition of the coin is crucial, but the demand from collectors also plays a big role in determining its value. Coins that are in high demand, like the 1981 quarter in perfect or near-perfect condition, are highly sought after. As collectors become more aware of the rarity and potential value of these coins, the price only goes up. This is especially true for quarters like the 1981, where the number of high-quality, error-free examples is low, and the demand continues to rise. So, what does all of this mean in terms of cold, hard cash? If you're lucky enough to find a 1981 quarter that's in uncirculated condition or one that has a minting error, then you could be looking at a coin worth a pretty penny. In fact, some of these rare 1981 quarters are being bought and sold for an astonishing $55,000. Yes, you heard me right, $55,000 for a single quarter. That's a huge amount of money for what seems like a simple coin, but it just goes to show how valuable rare, well-preserved, and error coins can be in the world of numismatics. For all the collectors out there, the takeaway here is clear: if you have any old coins lying around, especially quarters from the 1980s, now is the time to take a closer look. Check them for minting errors, examine their condition, and if you find a 1981 quarter that's in great shape, or if you spot any unusual minting mistakes, you could be holding onto a fortune. To sum it all up, the 1981 quarter is a perfect example of how rarity, condition, and minting errors come together to make a coin incredibly valuable. It's a reminder that even coins that seem ordinary on the surface can sometimes be worth far more than we realize. So, if you've got a collection of old quarters or have ever wondered what's in your spare change, take a few minutes to check out those 1981 quarters. They could be worth a lot more than just 25 cents. Top 3, we've got a real gem for you, a coin that might be hiding right under your nose. If you have any quarters from the late 1980s, you'll want to stick around because we're diving deep into the 1988 United States quarter dollar. This particular quarter has caught the attention of collectors and could be worth far more than the 25 cents you might think it's worth. At first glance, the 1988 quarter might not seem like anything extraordinary. After all, it's just another coin featuring George Washington on the front, right? But when you dig deeper into the world of coin collecting, you'll realize this quarter has the potential to be a true treasure. You see, what sets certain coins apart from the rest isn't always the design but rather their rarity, condition, and the potential for minting errors, and the 1988 quarter has all of these factors working in its favor. Let's talk about rarity first. Millions of 1988 quarters were minted, just like any other year, but the key to their value lies in how many of them have survived in near-perfect, uncirculated condition. Most of these quarters were used for everyday transactions, which means they've been through the ringer, scratched, worn, and dented. But every once in a while, you'll come across a 1988 quarter that has been carefully preserved, remaining as pristine as the day it was minted. That's when the real value begins. When a coin is uncirculated, it means it hasn't been used in commerce. These coins are often stored by collectors or the mint itself, away from the rough wear of the real world. And for coins like the 1988 quarter, uncirculated examples are extremely rare. They're highly sought after because collectors love the idea of owning a coin that has been untouched by time, one that still has its sharp details and original shine. If you find a mint condition 1988 quarter, you could already be looking at something with real value, but that's not the only thing that makes the 1988 quarter special. Another key factor is minting errors. During the production process, sometimes mistakes happen. A double strike, where the coin is stamped twice, or an off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, can make a coin incredibly unique. And when it comes to coins like the 1988 quarter, these errors are extremely valuable because they are rare and cannot be replicated. Imagine owning a 1988 quarter with a double die error, where the image of George Washington or the lettering appears more than once, fuzzy, and slightly misaligned. Or what if the coin was struck off-center, with part of Washington's image missing or the design partially cut off? Those kinds of errors make the coin stand out, and because they're so rare, they can fetch significant amounts of money in the coin collecting world. Even small mistakes can make a huge difference in value, and the rarer the error, the higher the potential price tag. Now, let's talk numbers. When it comes to value, the 1988 quarter might seem like a simple 25-cent coin to most people. However, for those in the know, a well-preserved, uncirculated 1988 quarter can be worth quite a bit more. But if you happen to find one with a minting error, or perhaps in near-perfect condition, you're looking at something truly valuable. The price tag for these rare coins can climb into the thousands, and in some cases, even higher. So, what's the big reveal? A 1988 quarter in uncirculated condition or one with a minting error could be worth an astonishing $52,000, yes, you heard that right, $52,000 for a single 1988 quarter. That's not a typo. It's the kind of price you can expect for coins that are in perfect condition or those that have rare minting errors. For coin collectors, this is the kind of discovery that could turn a simple quarter into a true windfall. For all the collectors out there, this is a perfect example of why coin collecting can be so exciting. A seemingly ordinary coin, like the 1988 quarter, could have the potential to be worth a small fortune if it's in the right condition or has the right error. So, the next time you're sorting through your change or going through your coin collection, take a closer look at any 1988 quarters you have. They could very well be worth more than you ever imagined. In conclusion, the 1988 United States quarter dollar is a fantastic example of how rarity, condition, and minting errors come together to create a coin that could be worth a lot more than face value. If you're holding onto one of these coins in excellent shape or with a minting mistake, you could be holding onto a treasure worth thousands of dollars. Top 4, we're taking a deep dive into a coin that you might have lying around without even knowing its true value. That's right, we're talking about the 1990 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this might seem like just another quarter in your change jar, but don't be fooled. The 1990 quarter is actually one of those coins that can fetch a hefty price on the market, especially when it's in the right condition or has an interesting backstory. Stick with me as we explore what makes this coin so valuable, the factors that add to its worth, and the potential for some surprising minting errors that could make it even more expensive. So, let's start with a little history. The 1990 quarter was part of the regular series issued by the United States Mint, and it features the classic image of George Washington on the obverse, with the eagle on the reverse. These quarters were minted in large quantities to keep up with the demand for currency, so you might be wondering, what makes this particular coin stand out in the world of collectors? The answer lies in a few crucial factors: rarity, condition, and errors. First, let's talk about rarity. While millions of these 1990 quarters were produced, most of them saw everyday use, being tossed around in pockets, dropped on the ground, and spent in vending machines. As a result, finding one in pristine condition can be a challenge. If you happen to come across a 1990 quarter that has been carefully stored, never circulated, and still looks like it just came off the minting press, you found something special. Coins that remain in mint condition after more than 30 years are incredibly rare, and the 1990 quarter is no exception. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are as close to flawless as possible, with clean surfaces, sharp details, and no signs of wear. These well-preserved quarters are far more valuable than those that have been through years of circulation. The rarer the coin in top condition, the more demand there is for it, and this is where the magic happens in terms of value. But wait, there's more to the 1990 quarter than just its condition. Let's talk about minting errors. These are the real treasure for collectors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, and while they're mistakes, they actually add tremendous value to a coin. Think of it as a happy accident that makes the coin even more unique. For example, you might find a double strike, where the coin has been stamped twice, causing the design to appear blurry or misaligned. Or perhaps you come across a misaligned die, where the images on the coin aren't quite centered. These errors, though they happen infrequently, make certain coins even rarer and, as a result, much more valuable. Collectors who specialize in error coins are willing to pay top dollar for a coin that has been misprinted or made with an off-center strike. Imagine finding a 1990 quarter that has a double die, with two overlapping images of George Washington or the eagle. That error could push the coin's value up significantly. And it's not just double strikes, there are other types of minting errors that collectors love to chase, like planchet flaws, which occur when the metal used to make the coin is defective in some way. So, what's the big takeaway here? While most 1990 quarters are worth only a small fraction of their face value, a 1990 quarter in excellent condition or one with a minting error can be worth much more. Now, let's talk about the price. If you manage to find a 1990 quarter in uncirculated condition, or, even better, one that has a rare minting error, you could be holding on to something truly valuable. The price for a 1990 quarter in pristine condition or with an error can skyrocket in the world of collectors, and we're talking about a price that could make your jaw drop. Drumroll, please. If you have a 1990 quarter that's in perfect, uncirculated condition or features a minting error, it could be worth an incredible $50,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000 for a single quarter. That's the potential value of a well-preserved 1990 quarter or one with a rare and unique minting mistake. This isn't just a lucky find, it's a reminder of how fascinating and valuable coin collecting can be. A simple quarter from 1990 could hold the key to a small fortune. So, if you're a coin collector, or if you have some old coins stashed away, it's time to take a closer look at those 1990 quarters. They might seem like just a piece of everyday change, but you could be sitting on a hidden treasure worth a small fortune. Whether you find one in mint condition or with a minting error, you could have a coin worth thousands of dollars. Top 5, we're exploring the 1974 United States quarter dollar, a coin that may seem like just another piece of change, but trust me, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. The 1974 quarter is part of the regular series of quarters issued by the U.S. Mint, and like most quarters, it features the image of George Washington on the obverse, with an eagle on the reverse. It was minted during an interesting time in U.S. history, a year that saw a lot of change, both politically and economically. The 1970s were marked by significant events, from the end of the Vietnam War to the Watergate scandal. So, it's no surprise that a coin from this period would have a special place in the hearts of collectors. But what makes the 1974 quarter stand out in the world of numismatics? Let's break it down. First off, let's talk about rarity. When most people think of rare coins, they might think of coins that were minted in low numbers. But the 1974 quarter didn't fall into that category. In fact, millions of 1974 quarters were minted and circulated across the country. However, what set some of these quarters apart is their condition. Over the years, most of these coins were worn down by heavy circulation, meaning most of them are far from pristine. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these quarters were either never used or were carefully preserved by collectors, remaining in uncirculated condition. Coins in this state are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to come across a 1974 quarter that still looks fresh out of the mint, you've stumbled upon something special. Uncirculated coins have never been used in circulation, and they retain all their original features, from sharp details to smooth surfaces. Because so few of these coins were preserved in such a pristine state, they're much more valuable than their worn counterparts. This is one of the key factors that can drive the price of a 1974 quarter to impressive heights, but there's more to the 1974 quarter than just its condition. Let's talk about the minting errors. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, and they can add huge value to a coin. Errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, and these mistakes can make a coin incredibly unique. In the case of the 1974 quarter, one of the most sought-after errors is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, creating a blurry or doubled image on the coin's design. For a 1974 quarter, imagine the image of George Washington being slightly doubled or misaligned. This kind of error is rare, and when found, it makes the coin much more valuable. Another potential error that collectors look for in the 1974 quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't perfectly aligned in the press, causing the design to be shifted. This means parts of the coin's design, like Washington's portrait or the eagle, might be cut off or appear off-center. These types of errors make the coin stand out and are highly prized in the world of numismatics, but it's not just the minting errors or the uncirculated condition that makes the 1974 quarter worth more money. It's also the demand for rare coins. The world of coin collecting has grown immensely over the years, with collectors constantly searching for coins that stand out because of their condition or unique features. A coin like the 1974 quarter, especially one with a minting error, can become a hot commodity in the market, pushing its value higher and higher. So, you might be wondering, how much is this 1974 quarter really worth? Well, if you happen to find a 1974 quarter that is in uncirculated condition or one that has a rare minting error, the price can be quite staggering. The value of these coins can easily jump into the thousands of dollars range, but if you're lucky enough to find a truly rare example, the sky's the limit. And now, the big reveal, the moment you've been waiting for. A 1974 quarter in excellent, uncirculated condition, or one with a significant minting error like a double die or off-center strike, can be worth an incredible $69,000. Yes, you heard that right, $69,000 for a single 1974 quarter. That's right, this seemingly ordinary coin can be worth more than a small house in some parts of the country, all because of its rarity, condition, and potential minting errors. This is exactly why coin collecting is such an exciting hobby. You never know when you'll come across a coin that could be worth a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, always keep an eye out for coins that might look ordinary at first but have the potential to turn into something extraordinary. Top 6, and last unique coin. We're going to explore the 1982 United States quarter dollar, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance but has the potential to be worth an unbelievable amount of money. So, grab your magnifying glass and get ready, because you're about to learn about a coin that could be worth more than you could ever imagine. At first glance, the 1982 quarter might not seem like anything special. It's part of the regular series of U.S. quarters, featuring George Washington's profile on the obverse side and the eagle on the reverse. But here's where it gets interesting. The 1982 quarter isn't rare in terms of how many were produced. Millions were minted that year, but what makes it unique is the condition of the coin and the possibility of rare minting errors that can send its value skyrocketing. When we talk about coin rarity, we're not just talking about how many of these coins were made, we're talking about how many of them have survived in pristine condition. The vast majority of 1982 quarters were heavily circulated, which means they've been through a lot, dropped, scratched, bent, and generally worn down. This is why finding a 1982 quarter in uncirculated condition is a rare and valuable discovery. Coins that are in mint condition haven't been spent or damaged, so they retain all their sharp details and beautiful shine. These coins are the holy grail for collectors, and if you happen to find a 1982 quarter in such a condition, it could be worth far more than face value. Now, let's talk about minting errors, the things that truly excite collectors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of a coin. These mistakes make the coin unique, and depending on the type of error, they can increase a coin's value dramatically. For the 1982 quarter, there are a few key minting errors that collectors are on the lookout for. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, resulting in a blurry or doubled design. Imagine seeing George Washington's face slightly overlapping or the inscription, Liberty, appearing twice. This kind of error makes a coin much more interesting and rare, and collectors will pay top dollar for it. If you've got a 1982 quarter with a double die error, you're holding onto a piece of history that could be worth thousands. Another minting error that could make your 1982 quarter valuable is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is misaligned during the striking process, causing the design to be shifted to one side. As a result, parts of the image may be cut off or misplaced. This makes the coin not only unique but incredibly collectible. Off-center coins are prized for their unusual appearance, and they are often in high demand by error coin collectors, but that's not all. There are other types of errors that could occur during the minting of a 1982 quarter, such as planchet defects or die cracks. These imperfections, while not as common, make the coin even more valuable, as they add a sense of uniqueness that you just can't find in a regular, well-struck coin. So, what exactly does all of this mean for the value of a 1982 quarter? While the majority of 1982 quarters aren't worth more than their face value, if you happen to find one in uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error, the price can shoot up significantly. You might be thinking to yourself, how much could a single quarter possibly be worth? Well, here's the surprising part. A 1982 quarter in perfect condition or with a rare minting error could be worth a small fortune. And now for the big reveal. If you have a 1982 quarter that is in uncirculated condition or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth an incredible $59,000. Yes, you heard that right, $59,000 for a single 1982 quarter. That's no exaggeration. If you find a 1982 quarter with a double die, off-center strike, or another rare minting mistake, you could be holding onto a coin worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. This is the beauty of coin collecting. A seemingly ordinary coin like the 1982 quarter could turn out to be worth a fortune, depending on its condition and any potential minting errors it might have. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is a perfect reminder to never underestimate the value of a coin, no matter how ordinary it might seem at first glance. So, next time you go through your spare change or dig through your coin collection, take a close look at those 1982 quarters. You could be sitting on a hidden treasure. And remember, with coin collecting, you never know when you might find the next big thing that could change everything. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the value of the 1982 United States quarter dollar, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future discoveries. Coin collecting is full of surprises, and you never know when you'll find the next rare coin that could be worth a fortune. Happy collecting, and see you in the next video.